What is going on, YouTube? Hello and welcome back to another Bullish Bears YouTube video. I'm Kevin and I'll be your host today. Today we're going to be doing some stock analysis on 3 top large cap stocks that we like to day trade in our community. And don't forget, you could always feel free to join our community at bullishbears.com. The stocks we're going to cover today are going to be Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla. These are big movers and weigh very heavy on things like the SPY, which is the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. So let's get into it and find some great opportunities, some day trade opportunities, and some swing trade opportunities that we could really take advantage of and really bring a profit from. Let's go. Alright guys, the first stock we're going to be looking at is going to be Apple. Now I like to do my technical analysis from a top-down approach, and what that basically means is I like to look at the higher time frames first, then I'll break it down into the lower time frames. Some people do this on the monthly, I personally like to go to the weekly, and let's take a look. This is a Fibonacci from Apple's lows of this year to Apple's highs of this year. And we're going to be taking a look at the structure of this past few weeks, right? So if I'm looking at the past couple weeks, I see that, okay, buyers kept trying to step in from this key Fibonacci level. However, sellers stepped back in once we got up to this level, and we created a lower high off of this previous high. So now we have 2 lower highs based off of this high right here. And it looks like we're also making lower lows, which tells me we're in more of a bear trend. And remember guys, the trend is our friend, so I'm going to be looking for bear setups, that's short setups or puts for those of you trading options on Apple this week. And that will need market context and market structure. I want ES, NQ, SPY, QQQ to be weak as well. So let's take a look into the smaller time frames, and we're going to look at the daily next. And what I see on the daily is that buyers do have a lot of strength once they do step in and we break range, because we do get that continuation. However, as soon as buyers fail, the sell-offs are very, very strong, trapping a whole lot of buyers. Look at this big gap right here that we tried to fill over there, but rejected that key level that we had at 182. So I'm really going to be looking for some type of short position on Apple that I could potentially swing trade to really lock in a bigger move, because I'm basing this technical analysis off the weekly time frame. So these are the zones and levels I have on Apple. We're going to look at the 90-minute first, so I can show you guys this supply zone with this key level in it as well. See how it worked as a bit of a resistance. We broke it. Support, support, support. Resistance, 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 resistance. So there's a lot of selling pressure there right now because we're under that zone. So this is a really strong spot that I'm going to want us to take a short position. I'm even going to mark this rectangle as red, and I'm going to go to the HSL and make the transparency up to about 70. That way we could see the candlesticks within that rectangle once we do get back up there. Another trade idea that I might have is, let's say that the buyers do want to step in and trap the bears, trap the sellers. I'm going to be looking for this 2-hour demand zone down here at 171.28, along with this key level of 171 to hold up as well. Now again, this is a zone that held up 2 times, and each time it did create a bit of a higher low. So let's see if we come back into it for a quick retest and a quick rejection and reversal back upwards, trapping a lot of short positions and trapping a lot of bears. If that was the case and we got momentum and bulls look strong, I would like a long position in this area to target all the way up here at this 90-minute supply zone. So that would be a huge trade. It'd be about a $5 move on Apple, which is fantastic. And again, this could be a potential swing trade if buyers really want to step in here. However, I would be careful swing trading a long position or calls compared to a short position, because look how strong we've been on the weekly candles to the downside, and look at the past few candles as well. This is a shooting star pattern that usually signifies some type of down move. So I do want to see if we get a strong break below this 170.13 level. I would really like a push lower to this 161 level, and that would be a fantastic swing trade to really profit off. It's almost a $10 move. So if we're looking at risks or reward, we could have a long position here for a $5 move. However, maybe we'd be patient for this supply zone and we could maybe even get a $15 move, or we wait for the break and we get a $10 move. So it definitely depends on market structure, market context, and how strong or weak the stocks are trading. Alright guys, that's it for Apple. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The next stock we're going to be looking at is Microsoft. Alright guys, here we have a chart of Microsoft on the weekly time frame, and as we see, we're actually looking back 2 years now. Apple, we were looking back at just year to date. On Microsoft, we had a really strong downtrend last year, and then this year we had a nice strong uptrend. We almost completely engulfed the whole sell-off, right? We did once we came back up to the 0 line on the Fibonacci retracement. Now we pulled back, and we are currently holding that 23%, which is a strong area. And the reason that the 0 is up here and the 100 is down here is because when we're marking a downtrend, we always start the 0 at the start of the trend and the 100 at the bottom or top of the trend. So if this was a bull trend, we would mark the 0 down here and the 100 up here. But because this was a bear trend, we did the 0 up here and the 100 down here. So as we do see on the weekly, we were making all of these higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. We had a really nice smooth bull trend over this past year so far. However, starting around, what was this, about July, August, we had a bit of a turnaround. We spiked, we hit some all-time highs, just like Apple did. Then what happened, we started making some lower highs. We made another lower high. Now let's see if we made a small lower low, but we barely held it, right? So we wicked this previous low, but then what happened was we trapped sellers and we got a bit of a pushback higher. But now we're creating another lower high, and it does look like price will want to come down from here. So let's take a look at the smaller time frame. So this is the weekly. Now we're going to take a look at the daily, and I'm also going to put my levels on the screen for us as well. And that way we could see exactly what levels I'm going to be looking at to short, how we've been trading within these levels, and what we can expect in this coming week. So the first thing I notice is that this was previously a 3-hour supply zone. We had a strong sell-off from it here, another strong one here. We kept rejecting it. Then what happened, we sort of broke it, but then we kept on rejecting it every time we sort of got in this zone. A lot of sellers stepped in and tried to push us lower. So we sort of have been in this range for the past couple weeks on Microsoft from about the 326 to about 332. I mean, even as high as 335. So you could have gotten a $10 move out of it if you were really buying at the lows and selling at the highs. But nobody's ever going to get that perfect, exact, full move. We have to be comfortable and okay with taking a piece of the pie. We do not want the whole cake, because then we'll be too greedy. We won't be able to take better trades. We're going to be having too high of expectations, and it's not going to play out in our favor. Something I noticed, though, is we are now creating these lows right here. And what I'm going to even mark out is a trend line right here. I'm going to go from here to there, just to sort of give an idea to show you guys, we had this low, but this was a higher low from this low because it was higher. Now we have a lower low right here. From that point, we have a lower low right here. Now the question is, do we make another lower low and then reject it and bounce back higher again like we did this day and like we started to do this day? But we do have to remember, this was a strong selling candle. We just had all the selling pressure. It looks like it's ready to try to break below this range. So something I would look for on Microsoft is I'm going to look for a break below this 326 level area over here. And I'm going to look for a retest back into this area. And then I'm going to enter my position on the retest with my stop loss at the high. So it'll be about a $2 stop loss. And my first target is going to be this 320 key psychological level, and it's a key psychological level because it is a whole number. So I'm going to be looking for that as my target. It is a 5-to-1 risk to reward. I'm risking $2 on that trade to make $10 on that trade. Now, if you're trading options, you can't measure risk to reward like that. However, it's good to always be aware of what you are risking on your options contract and what you're risking based on price action as well, because price action is key when we're trading when we're day trading, swing trading, whatever trading we are doing. So I'm really going to be looking for a quick rejection of this zone up here, probably by Monday or Tuesday. And then I'm going to want to see a push lower. That's going to be my trade setup number 1 I'm looking for on Microsoft. However, if this was a fake out and we're going to reject and push back higher, I'm going to take a push above this 328 level, and I'm going to target this 331 level as well. Now, this is going to be more of a 1.5 to 1 because the stop loss is about $2 and the target is about $3. So not the best risk to reward trade, but we do know where our stop loss is, we know where our target is, and it just gives us a general area. Now, however, on the other hand, if this was a fake out and we trap and we start to push higher with a lot of momentum and volume, what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for this 336 level, because this was a key level I had already, and look at how perfect we rejected it this day on the 19th, almost to a penny. The high of this candle right here was 336.88, about 3 cents off of that key level, that support and resistance level that I already had on my chart. So again, if we have momentum and trap these sellers, I'm going to look for a nice push higher. If we do want to continue the trend, because let's remember, guys, the trend is our friend, and we want to make some lower lows and continue going on this downtrend, I really want to see that 320 level on Microsoft. All right, guys, the last and final stock we're going to go over is going to be Tesla. Let's check it out. All right, everyone, last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at Tesla. Now, Tesla is a fantastic stock to trade. It's got a great ATR, average true range. So for those of you who trade options, you can do very well with this. You do need a lot more capital than you would if you were trading some type of SPY or QQQ. However, it can really be worth it when you're trading with large amounts and doing well with that. With that being said, Tesla has been very weak. It had earnings this past week that gapped it down about $16. I'm going to show you guys that on the daily time frame. Gapped down about $16.73. That's over a 6% drop just from the previous day. And then it continued to sell off for this following day and then the day after that. So overall, it dropped over 12% in a matter of just 2 days because of that gap down from earnings. Now, if we look at the day prior to earnings, it sold off from there as well. So we're looking at over a 16% drop on Tesla. Now, in my opinion, I do believe we might be in for some type of pullback. However, I'm not going to be the one to tell you, and you guys should not be trying to catch a falling knife in trading. If we see the selling pressure, we want to keep trading with that selling pressure because the trend is our friend. We're creating these lower highs, we're creating these lower lows. However, this is a very strong level. This is a very strong price shelf. I'll show you guys on the weekly that we held it as support, 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 resistance, resistance, support, support, support. It was just a really, really strong area. And even if we keep going back, there's just more volume. There's a lot of volume at this shelf. The market knows and will remember what was going on. So this is going to continue to act as a strong volume, as a strong shelf. So what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for sellers to be trapped in the market. I want to see some type of pullback. I want to see some type of push higher. I want to see us break back above this 214 level with momentum, and I want to target that 220 level, which would be a key psychological level. That's why I'm targeting that level. On the other hand, again, if sellers really do fail and buyers step in, we might get a very strong push. We see how strong Tesla could be on some of its better days. You know, it could move $14 here, moves probably another 14, 13 there. This day looks like it moved probably about $17, $18 there. So it could really have a strong move. If it has a move for at least $10, we could even see 224 tomorrow. Or we're at 211.99 right now, 212, which you guys can see right here, bid and ask. This is what Tesla closed at. This is what the bid and ask are at right now. So right now we're at 212.75. Again, if I want to see a push above at this point, I want to see on the lower time frames, I want to see a push above this zone, a retest, and a push back higher. Now, I would also like to see some type of higher time frame demand zone form. That way, I'm also aware and ready for it, and I'm ready to take the long position. I know where my target is, this key level right over here. Even this zone 225 is good, 220 is good, to have multiple take profits in case the market does want to continue back to the downside, because we can't fight the trend, which the trend is still strong to the bear side. Again, though, we do have this strong level of support, and that's what's sort of keeping me second guessing how strong this sell-off can be if we continue. If we do continue, I do think we're going to push it down to 204. Maybe even the $200 level would be a strong and big push lower on Tesla, and that would even give it, let's see, check out that daily. If we dropped from the 18th and we just kept going to about the $200 level, we're looking at about a 20% drop on Tesla. Now, that's something that I could definitely see, people posting about something happening. But again, we don't want to be anticipating something. We want the confirmation before we take our trades. All right, guys, I hope this video helped. I hope you guys take some of these setups this week when they do present themselves. It's a great video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Don't forget to join our community at bullishbears.com. Click join. You'll get access to our course, get access to our Discord community where we go live every day, and we also post pre-market plans and trade setups as well. All right, guys, take care and happy trading.